This is DJ Murphy, editor-in-chief of ISC News. I am here at ISC East in the Executive Club Lounge with Pierre Bourgeix. Pierre is the CEO of ESI Convergent, and Pierre is a well-sought-after speaker and veteran of this show. We have put him into our conference program in multiple places this year because he's such a subject matter expert. I always love hearing you talk in these venues. It's been long enough for me that I've seen you talk about things like AI and cyber since it was strange to do so in a security, from security perspective. Since that time, 5-6 years-ish, what has surprised you about sort of the evolution of, especially AI, since it's so big right now, from a security perspective? You know, adoption, use cases, things like that. What has been surprising since you first started talking about it?
Well, it's interesting because if you go back 7 years ago, I mean, at the end of the day, even longer than that, I think almost 9 years ago, we began talking about the whole concept of AI and talking about what is going to be the evolution and where is it going to find itself. Well, what I found very interesting is that initially we really thought that AI would be considered as a way to automate and help integrate possibly the function between security and operations, right? We saw that as a possibility because there was a lot of data and information from the operational business side. What I didn't realize, and I think this comes to the whole conversation when we start with like OpenVINO, right, and Intel. Intel began this concept, right, NVIDIA's chipsets, and so we said, okay, so edge-based processing. So that became interesting, right? And then we said, okay, we go edge-based processing, then we're talking about compute processing, and then all of a sudden NVIDIA comes up in terms of the GPU side. And that, even though NVIDIA had been in the marketplace, it never really had a focus in this security world. Mm-hmm. So, speaking to guys like Jumbi who came into this space, and we consulted for Intel initially, and then we consult now for NVIDIA. What I find is the rapid pace in the last 2 years of adoption, and I think we'll say that NVIDIA is a big part of that, right? Because compute became more available, and then when you had people outliers who started coming in from the outside in, I call them, the industry has always birthed technology from the inside out. Yep. Well, technology is now coming from the outside in, and I go to the CES show. We do a lot of work with a lot of different companies that are at CES, which was Consumer Electronics Show. Well, nobody thought, what is security doing there, right? And I'm finding that there's more technology being developed outside our realm to adopt within our industry. And I think that's the big surprise, right? That's the big reveal. How did that all happen? And I think boiling it down is that the market needed it. Yeah. End users were demanding more information to solve specific problems. And I think that analytics got to a certain point where we could do something. I mean, the Bosches of the world had created a lot of great deep learning algorithms. Yep. But once we got to a point, we didn't have the compute or processing power. And all of a sudden, boom, the world realized we can do this. Yeah. And so I think that, to me, the adoption is always, there's a push and pull in technology, right? Yep. You can have a lot of push, but if you don't have a pull, and I think with the end users, we'll say the practitioners, asking for more technology to do certain things, that kind of led to this, like the crossroads. Yeah,
just from a consumer perspective, people know about it, and therefore they understand the implications of it, and they want to know more about it.
And I think technology in general, right? We always say, as we became more affixed to our mobile phones, right? To our mobile credentials, our mobile phones, our mobile capabilities, most people, listen, it starts with the private sector. It starts with just basic people that are using technology, right? Yep. At your home. And people realize, hey, if we could do this, why can't we do it there, right? And I think that translates into the market pull. And honestly, I think that if the path we're going, there's going to be more unification, more systems that are going to be much more, merged and not PSIM'd, but really software-based piece of environments, right? And I think that is really due to the new architecture of AI and modeling and the processors that are happening today. I think it's going to be fascinating. And I think the next 2 to 3 years, I would say that most organizations are going to have this path.
Yeah. Yeah. Exciting times. We're so happy to have you here to be able to sort of guide us through and explain it all. Pierre's on a panel today. He'll be on a panel tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day, so if you're in the New York City area, come on down. There's so much to learn.
Great
here.
show.
Yeah, thank you.
Great
I
show. And
appreciate
honestly,
that.
it's just blown up. I love how
Yep.
wonderful the show has become.
All right, and thank you for participating as always.
You're very welcome.